first started writing Tastes Like Pancakes, it was originally for a musical I was working on with a friend. And it sounded so much more deceitful and wicked when I first started writing it. It was just overall a really eerie song. When I sent this version of the song to the friend I was working with, we both agreed it was too depressing and sad to use as a love song. It sounded more like falling out of love than falling into it.
When I go to bed at night, something comes over me. In my bed, all I want is you next to me.
I was in a phase of writing all my songs on piano. I'd been messing around with seventh chords a bit and discovered a sequence I really liked. So I was just throwing it at every song I wrote, trying to see where it sounded good and where it would stick. So you can hear that in the beginnings of writing Tastes Like Pancakes. Ironically, the chords did end up showing up in a different song that's on the EP.
And when I go to bed at night, something comes over me. In my bed, all I want is you next to me.
As I tried to mess around with making it more upbeat on piano, it just never seemed to stick or feel right with me, so I eventually transferred over to guitar, and though it took me a second to figure out the whole chords and key, the lyrics did at least start falling into place.
When I go to bed at night, something comes over me. In my bed, all I want is you next to me.
For a couple of months the song did sit unfinished. It wasn't until I got COVID at the start of May that I rediscovered it and realized I needed to finish it. So when I recovered, I had a performance a few days later, like 3 days later, and I decided I was gonna finish this song by then and perform it there, which is what I did.
When I go to bed at night, something comes over me. In my bed, all I want is you next to me.
I knew immediately I wanted to record and produce this song, and I think that's why it was so easy for me to come up with how I wanted it to sound when it would be produced. And one thing I knew for sure was I really wanted piano and trumpet to be in there alongside my guitar.
Oh my god.
I think all the songs on the EP sound really different, whether in the way I wrote them or the story or just how they sound, but it's really like a bouquet of flowers because they all fit together so well. And I really feel like that's true for Tastes Like Pancakes. It turned out so much better than I could have ever imagined. I really love how it turned out.